What up? Big Herc 916, muscle up. You know how we do it over here. Muscleup Car Lifestyle. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And the guys who watch this on Big Herc 916, also go over to Muscleup and subscribe to that channel also. The link's in the description because there's nothing but cars over there. And for all my car people, I leave it at that. Now, you see in the background, I got the wig flitter Porsche, man. It feels so good to have my car finally home. The journey has been crazy. I've documented some of it on my channel, but this car has took me through a lot of ups and downs. I had a vision for it, and that vision's changed a few times because of mechanics who screwed me over. But one of the biggest questions I get is, why did I get rid of the Porsche engine and go to the Chevy 350? And when I got the car, it had an LT1 in it, which is the first version of the LT1 that came in like the 94 Camaros and the early 90 Corvettes. And the car ran, it was already modified. He had put a lot of work and time and money into the car. But what happened was the car overheated on me on a drive. And I went from the drive to the mechanic shop I was dealing with at the time, and I was gonna, do some stuff and, throw some mods on the LT1. And then he's like, "Oh man, you should get rid of this LT1 and throw in, your 350 in here, and we'll blow it out, put a blower on it and do all this stuff." And man, I was kind of still fresh in the car game. I hadn't really been modifying a lot of cars. I hadn't done my research. Had I known the amount of money I gave this guy, I could have went to Summit and got a turnkey motor where I could have had a really sick motor built. But he said that he knew a guy, and I had trusted this guy because he had worked on my other 911, which had a slant nose body kit that was crazy with a 383 stroker. He had also worked on a 65 Mustang I had, and also a 66 Mustang I had, a fastback, and a couple other cars. He had worked on a bunch of cars. I had brought this guy a lot of money. But he's like, hey, for this right here, if you got a budget, we can do this and that. And the budget was probably like, I want to say like 18 racks. But man, I could have got an LSA motor. I could have got a basic LSX. I could have got a lot of other engines. There was a lot of stuff out there, but I trusted this guy, man. I was focused on other things, and I let this guy kind of lead this build, which I don't do that anymore. But I let him lead the build. So, anyways, I gave him cash up front. Never give a mechanic cash up front, man. Never give a mechanic cash up front. I gave this guy cash up front. And, the car sat, and it sat, and it sat, and I would pop over there, unannounced. You always pop over at your mechanics unannounced. Don't ever tell them when you're coming by, at least not all the time. Sometimes it's pop up. And I had, how many cars I had over there? I had 2 cars over there. I might have had 3, man. I can't remember because I was flipping cars at the time. I had 2 Porsches. I had this one, and I had a gold 928. And he was supposed to be restoring one. And I was giving him money to work on both cars. It's like, damn, man. I think about it. I'm like, I should have seen it when he kept giving me drag. Oh, man, I'm waiting on this. Oh, this guy, he's screwing me around. I'm going to go by there and bust him up. I mean, he was just lying out of his ass. I don't know if the guy got hooked on drugs or what have you. But I had given him benefit of the doubt. I even went to his wedding. And yeah, he screwed me, man. He took my money. So what happened was I found out that the shop was going to be foreclosed on. And the guy told me, he said, man, you better get your cars out of there so they don't get seized. So I had a homie come through. He had a tow truck. He towed the cars out of there that night. I towed the 79 928, which was all Porsche. It was a manual. And then I had him tow this car out of there. And neither car ran. And I took one to one place. And my buddy, he's a Porsche guy, man. He's a good dude, man. Shout out to Mike. He's a good dude. He did what he's supposed to do. I mean, I spent another 7, 8, I want to say like maybe close to 10 grand restoring that Porsche to 79, rebuilding the motor. I should have took that motor out of there and put an LS in it, but I didn't. I kept that stock and I ended up selling that one. But that car, it did run. I drove it from LA to Sacramento. It was he did it right. He didn't screw me over like this guy. Now this car went to another mechanic. This guy, another piece of shit. It went to his shop, and then he's like, "Oh man, let's put the stacks on it. I'm gonna get it running." Blah blah blah. This dude, he didn't know his mouth from his asshole, and so I wonder why the breath always smelled like shit. He never got the car running, man. He acted like it fired up one night, and I never heard the car fire up, but I gave him money too, and that's the thing. Like, these dudes, this is the thing with a lot of these pieces of shit. They think because they work on your car that you just pay them, but when nothing changes, excuse my language, experiment on your car, that's not working on your car, man. You're not practicing on my car. This ain't auto shop class. But this dude, yeah, this dude, man, I went from one guy who screwed me over after I made him over $250,000 to another dude who was a piece of shit. And this dude screwed over a couple of my other cars. That's another story, though. He used to take apart cars and couldn't put them back together. Anyways, he sold me some 8-stack injection bullshit. Never got it running, And then I took it from his shop to another shop and had them rewire the car, try to get it running. They weren't able to get it running. So the guy who helped me fix the gold Porsche referred another guy. And this guy, he did a pretty good job. He got the car running, hooked up the Holley EFI system, addressed some of the little stuff on the car. And the car ran. It didn't run with perfection, but it ran. And it still needed a lot of little stuff, which I didn't find out till I got out here to Arizona. But it ran, and I didn't take the car and just get it painted. I wanted to put a body kit on the car. So I had this body kit, man, and so it went from the mechanic who got it running, who did a decent job, to my partner who does Porsche body kits, and we worked on the kit, and the car was at his house for, man, almost a year, man. Probably close to, probably 9 months, close to a year, between 9 months and 12 months. And he worked on the car, man. I mean, the dude busted ass. The body kit that initially we put on, it was off, the dimensions were off. And so he pulled it off and then put another kit on off of that kit, and that's how we came up with the kit that's on it now, which is a one-off. So this is not a kit you can find anywhere. It's not on eBay or anything like that. And my goal when I built this car, the Wig Splitter Porsche, this wide body, was to dabble into customize the 928s, because I think the 928 is very underrated, often overlooked. It's like the Porsche's forgotten stepbrother, and but I love them, man. I think they're the coolest cars, from Scarface, from risky business. I've always liked him, man. I used to see him in the older magazines, the German magazines, and they would test him against other cars, the Ferrari Mondial, and I think the one of the Aston Martins, and the Porsche was just, it was a front engine V8 to Grand Tour. It was going to change the game for Porsche, but it never did. They stayed with the mid engine or rear engine, and this car died out. But I'm bringing him back because I'm gonna be the singer of the 928, and this is my prototype, man. This is my prototype right here. This car is not perfect as far as how I would present it as a final rendition to the customer or the client, but it gives you an idea of what type of vision I have. And I always wanted to get into building cars. I'm not a mechanic per se, or even a paint and body guy, but I can see things and I can visualize things, and I have determination, and I don't give up. I don't quit. I'm not a quitter, man. So this car represents years and years of just perseverance, not quitting, keeping my mind focused on the end game. And there's times where I'm like, damn, what could I do, man? I mean, it's already swapped, so a lot of purists aren't going to want to buy the car. And then if I sell at this point, I'm taking a big hit because of all the money and time I have invested in it. So for myself, it's a marketing tool, a branding tool, a testament of what type of person I am as far as being different, never selling for average. The 20 by 14.5-inch wheels on the back with the crazy tires, the 19s in the front. It's just, it's different, man. It sits up. It's not slammed to the ground. It's a Hot Wheel, man. I used to play with Hot Wheels as a kid, and this is my real life Hot Wheel. And this car one day you may see in a video game, and it'd be all worth it. But I've been working on this car for a long time. It's been in the darkness, and I'm bringing it to the light. And the crazy thing is, during the time I had this car at the shop, I got a lot of other cars. I flipped a lot of other cars: the Acura NSX, 73 Challenger, my Chevy, my Cougar, bunch of Benzes, and I just kind of like put it to the wayside. But I lost track of time, and then I realized I really got to get this car done. So bringing this car home is very rewarding for me. One of the hardest things was restoring 3 cars at the same time, because this car I had to redo because, like I told you, I got screwed over by a bunch of shitty mechanics. Then I had my Chevy I had to redo, just because it a lot of little stuff. And then my Cougar, which is still in the paint shop, Clara. And that car will probably be the last car out of my collection that I'll be wrapping up this year, and then I can enjoy those cars before I start any new projects, because I'm just one of those guys. I can't just drive something off the shelf, man. I gotta build something, man. I gotta be different. I don't want to ever pull up to a car show and somebody's got the exact same spec car or same car as far as engine setup and interior. My cars are always going to be unique, and I've just been one of those type of guys. I'm always dressed different, like to carry myself different, never settle for average, as the clothing that I like to wear. But yeah, man, I'm just one of those type of people. So this Porsche, which is a cross between German engineering, American performance, and just a lot of patience. I know the hood scoop ain't for everybody. The wide flares ain't for everybody. A lot of people, oh man, yeah, why'd you ruin the car? You know what, man? It's not your car. It's just like whoever, I'm married to. I'm married to. It's my business. I'm busting her cheeks. You're not busting the cheeks, so don't worry about it. You know, so it's like everybody has their own taste. This is my taste, man. And I haven't even really broke the car in yet. The sniper system's still learning. Um, Motor doesn't have any miles on it. And, you know, people like, you know, why didn't you put an LS in it? I would have, had I been really on that time, had I been thinking, man, I had this car, man, not about 9 years ago, man. I wasn't even tripping like that. I wasn't like LS out like I understand the game now. I would have done something different, and I would have, you know, if I would have knew the right people, I would have took it to a different mechanic. There's a lot of things I would have done different. Looking back, and then, you know, going forward, there's a lot of things I will do different when I build the next one, because I'm gonna build another 928. You know, I'm gonna be, you know, working with clients in the future, and I'm gonna be the singer of Porsche for 928s. That's my goal, man, and I will continue to, you know, put these beautiful cars back on the road. So let's take a look at the engine right now, and hear a startup, man. So yeah, we got a old school 350. I'm not even sure what year it is, because this engine was for another project I was gonna do, which was a 77 911 Targa that I had bought that came with this engine, and I was gonna build that, but I ended up selling it because, going back to that same guy, it's a lot of things happen, man, so I had to clean house. But it's got the MSD, got the box in the back, Holley Sniper EFI setup, it's got the serpentine setup, AC, the overflow, Ron Davis radiator, custom headers, and pretty simple, easy to work on. Most of the parts I can just find at O'Reilly's, AutoZone, or Pep Boy. I know this is blasphemy for a lot of Porsche people, but hey, man, I enjoy the car, and I had a Porsche 928 with the Porsche motor, and if you know anything about getting parts for a 928, it's very difficult and expensive. And yeah, I understand, you know, it's Porsche, but I just want to do American muscle with the German engineering, because they make a great handling car. I didn't have to do any chassis modifications. You know, a lot of times you got to change control arms and all type of stuff. But this is just, you put the motor in, and this car handles. So I got the transcooler in the front. That was underneath. That was one of the problems. That was overheating, and so the trans was running hot. But it doesn't do that anymore. And yeah, all this has been rewired, so it doesn't even have the original Porsche 928 fuse box underneath the car. Inside the kick panel, it's all custom. But you know, pretty simple, man. American muscle car right here. Actually, you know, German muscle car. And let me do a starter for you guys, so you can hear this exhaust. So I got wifey getting in the car. She's never started up, and you know, it's crazy. This actually started off as her car. Go figure. There it goes. That 3-inch exhaust. Now, what does that sound like? Does that sound like American muscle from German? Nice little growl. You hear that little rumble? Not a big cam, a little one. And as you can see, the idle's still learning, because I haven't really put any miles on the car. I'm gonna try to put at least 200 miles in the next week or so on the car before I really take it on a drive. But yeah, there you have it. The wig splitter Porsche. Hit it one more time, babe. Go to BigHerc916.com and purchase you a bar of soap, one of the books I've written, a hat, a beanie, a t-shirt, tank top, or some detail spray for your car. Hello, my name is Big Herc 916, and I'm with the Wash Your Ass Committee, and I'm traveling across America helping people wash their ass and get their booty holes clean. And I have with me here today Wash Your Ass Soap, and this one in particular is Butt Naked Scrub, but I also have Festival, Oatmeal Milk and Honey, Jamaican Me Crazy, Monkey Farts, and all these scents smell very good. They will help cleanse your body of funk and also make you feel better about yourself. So if you can go to BigHerc916.com, you can pick you up a bar, and my goal is to help America combat funk.